Hey, what's up YouTube? It's King Vita here, and I'm back with another video. This isn't so much a review, or kind of, maybe. It's a completely different video. It's more of a something that I got in the mail that I've really been getting into. And for anybody that is a huge fan of excuse me, for anybody that's a huge fan of Power Rangers, anybody that's a really big fan of Super Sentai, and is familiar with Super Sentai, I thought of sharing something really cool. And that is this right here. So this is, before Power Rangers, there was Super Sentai, Himitsu Sentai Gorenger. Gorenger. And what's really cool is that this actually exists. This is a manga. Look how fat this is. This is a manga not based on. This is where Gorenger originated, because in Japan it's mostly like, excuse me, it's mostly manga, then the actual show, and, you know, toys and stuff. But, so Gorenger is, for those of you that don't know, is a Super Sentai show which inspired the rest of the Sentai series, which in turn inspired the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which in turn inspired Power Rangers Zeo, In Space, Lost Galaxy, etc., etc., etc. So this right here is Himitsu Sentai Gorenger. And just like every other Ranger team, or most of the Ranger teams, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 members. And this is actually done by Shotaro Ishinomori. Shotaro Ishinomori. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And if anybody actually is familiar with that, and if anybody is old enough to remember another show he actually did, which is Cyborg 009. And for those of you that don't know, Google Cyborg 009. Excuse me. That is, in here you'll actually see the resemblance and the same art style that Cyborg 009 has. So we'll come take a look at the back here. There's all 5 Rangers right there. And there's a description. An evil secret society called the Black Cross Army threatens world peace, and only an elite task force, excuse me, known as the Earth Guard League, Eagle, can stop them. After the Black Cross Army destroys Eagle's headquarters across Japan, 5 young recruits survive. Hiding in a secret underground base, they are given enhanced battle suits that empower them with superhuman abilities, transforming the youths into an unstoppable squad to combat evil. It's your typical Power Ranger story. So here's a spine. It says Super Sentai Himitsu Sentai Gorenger. And it's got the Red Ranger right here. And the reason I know it's the Red Ranger is because it says number 1. In Gorenger, on top of their helmets, if you notice, 1 has wings because he's the leader. But then you have 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Rangers have numbers based on their importance. So I'm going to get into that as we look at the story. So this book, like I said, it's a manga, and it's written from right to left instead of left to right. So it's red. It's nice and red. Very cool. Oh yeah, right here. Who is Shotaro Ishinomori? Born in Japan in 1938, Shotaro Ishinomori is known as one of the most important manga artists of all time. A skilled artist ever since he was a child, Ishinomori was inspired early on by the works of Osamu Tezuka and made his debut as a professional manga artist while still in high school. Stop moving. Okay. Later, Ishinomori went on to create such influential titles as Kaider Kamen Rider, Cyborg 009, and Himitsu Sentai Gorenger, which is this, which would launch the long-running Super Sentai franchise and later adapted into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise, or the Power Rangers franchise. Although Ishinomori died in 1998, he holds the Guinness World Record for the most comics published by one author. While Tetsuka is known as the godfather of manga, Ishinomori is often referred to in Japan as the king of manga and remains one of the most influential figures in Japanese pop culture. Tokusatsu and the Henshin boom. Though he started his career in manga, some of Ishinomori's most iconic works began as tokusatsu productions. Tokusatsu, which means special filming, refers to a film genre that utilized live-action performance with special effects built upon methods used in kabuki theater and puppetry. This genre was crystallized with Godzilla 1954, which was so popular it caused what is known as the monster boom, the fascination with kaiju, which is giant monsters, in film. Ishinomori expanded upon the genre further with the creation of the Kamen Rider in 1971, which set off the second monster boom, also known as Henshin. Henshin means transformation. Boom. Henshin boom. Kamen Rider was a grasshopper, masked motorcycle riding superhero who took on supervillains to save the day in the struggle of good versus evil. The show was a success, leading to more Kamen Rider TV series and special cross-series team-ups. Viewers wanted more, though, so Ishinomori created a tokusatsu show based around a team of heroes, Himitsu Sentai Gorenger, which is this. Again, enter Gorenger. Unlike many of Ishinomori's prior creations, the heroes of Hitsuno Sentai Gorenger were regular humans. Their powers derived from advanced technology of their battlesuits and helmets. Ishinomori took pains to keep the characters' design simple while conveying their individuality with distinct color-coded outfits and visor shapes. They stood out on the new color television screen of the 1970s as all new superheroes for the modern world. So, and this is basically the... Excuse me. Wow. Maybe I should drink some soup or something. The story of the manga. So this is where the idea that Ishinomori was like first... he created manga. You know, we wouldn't have like Japanese anime without manga, and we wouldn't have manga without, you know, Ishinomori. And saying that when he made this, it became so popular that it became a TV show, Gorenger, which was in 1975, and basically, yeah. Himitsu Sentai Gorenger, Weekly Shonen Sunday. This is the story which originally ran from May 4th, 1975, which started on issue 18, all the way through August 10, 1975, and ended in issue 32. So as you can see, that is the Red Ranger. You know, of course, he's a student, and he doesn't realize he's the Red Ranger yet. This, I believe, is supposed to be the Pink Ranger. Right here. Let me see. Yeah. Tsuyoshi. Okay, Tsuyoshi is this guy. That's his name. And he actually takes over his father's mantle to become the Red Ranger. But obviously he doesn't know that yet, and his father doesn't think he's ready for the task. And his friend, which I believe becomes the Pink Ranger? I believe her name is Yoko. I'm not sure. She thinks that he's ready. And he also believes he's ready as well. But again, his father doesn't really... his father cares for him, but he doesn't really believe in him very much. You know, and as the story drags on, his dad finally, like, gives in and decides, hey, I have this battle suit for you. Why don't you try it on? Now, the purpose of this is the fact that, wow, I gotta take some hot lemonade or something. The idea is that his father doesn't think he's ready, and he feels in his heart that he is worthy, but he's so weak that he might as well not even be a hero. But until he actually tries the suit on. When he tries the suit on, his dad actually decides, you know what? Why don't we give you a test? The suit enhances his human abilities and makes him superhuman. Now, each of these little things, I haven't really explained this. Each of these little things have something to do with the Rangers. 1 is red, 2 is blue. So the numbers indicate the color of Rangers. And I'm actually glad that they did that, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell which colored Ranger is which, because it's a manga. It's in black and white. Or black, white, and gray. So, Red Ranger, his name is Aka Ranger. As you can see right there, Aka Ranger. And his father gives him a test. So he sends in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8, 9, a bunch of people after him. And he just fights them with complete ease. Yeah, he's so fast I can barely touch him. Okay. So, while he's in the midst of fighting, he notices that somebody has taken hostage this girl who I believe is supposed to be his girlfriend, but I'm not sure. It's just I think they're just good friends. I'm not sure. And he realizes that his suit, since his suit has powers, as I mentioned before, he doesn't have them, but the suit does. See, he just jumps he jumped towards the roof. He's like, I jumped on the roof? What? And, so, like I said, it's so much power that not even fire stops him. Yeah, so he just jumps out of the way. So he is fighting a bunch of other people. Yeah. It's just a test. He realizes it's just a test, and these guys were actually, paid to test him by his own father. So that's pretty funny. So this is what I was talking about. This is the evil organization that they don't really explain about in America. The reason why Power Rangers exist, Gorenger, this team of Gorenger exists. There's an evil organization. They're known as the Black Cross Army, hence the Black Cross, and they're actually spies and mercenaries. They steal government secrets and scientific data on new discoveries and inventions. And if they can't really find what they're looking for, they do the next best thing for them, and they steal scientists. They kidnap the brains behind everything, without discrimination. And after that, they only have one goal, and that is to sell their stolen assets to the highest bidder. So, okay, let me back up here. Gorenger is the story of kids who are trying to stop and who actually get powers, but the purpose is not to stop Rita Repulsa or Bandora as she's known in Gorenger. You know, their goal is to stop a legitimate evil organization. There's no monsters. Well, there are monsters, but they're not like Goldar. You know, they're not like Rita Repulsa. They're not like those funny monsters that like the comedy. This is like legitimate scary stuff here. You know, this is a legit world organization that's trying to control Earth and you know all their sources, and the only people that could stop them are the Gorengers. Keep in mind, these are just kids. These are just kids tasked with stopping an all-out attack, war on the world. And this is their logo, Eagle, EGL, right there. So, and this is what it looks like inside the mask. Right there. It's like mechanisms and stuff, and it says right here, enhance the 5 human senses and multiply the abilities of its wearer many times over. So yeah, it's the morpher. You know, it's when we morphs into a Power Ranger or into a red Aka Ranger, as they call him, Aka Ranger. He's super strong. So, oh, and yes, this is not against like your typical robots or monsters or stuff. This is like legit battle tanks. Like the Rangers actually fight against battle tanks and things like that, and it's crazy. Here's something funny though. He doesn't really want to be a Ranger at all. His dad is forcing him to become a Power Ranger. It says, forget it, you have no right to decide my future for me, Dad. You know, Tsuyoshi, that's his name. Tsuyoshi is like, you know, I don't want to be a Ranger, but you're forcing me to. So it's kind of, you know, different than Alpha. Alpha's like, you know, Rangers, we need you, but it's not like you're actually forced to do it. It's a choice. But his dad is like flat out, you know what, you're a Ranger. You're a Ranger because I say so. And yeah, it's way different. It's way different, and it's like it's pretty brutal. By the way, this is the guy that actually takes control of the bad guy, like the bad team, and he like mind controls people and things like that. It's a very, very, very interesting story. Oh yeah, he kills his dad too, which is pretty dark here. Like very brutal. He has no choice but to be a Ranger after his dad died. Look, I mean, my God. Like this is just wow. I'll finish what you started, says it right there. So this is pretty dark. This is insane. So here we meet his other friend, who is a different Ranger, and he's, you know, he's your typical big doofus character. Yeah. Not very good with math. He's just like, he's funny. And here we meet another Ranger, which would be her, I believe. I think. And his name is Ganhan, I think. Ganhan. Yeah, Ganhan. And what's her name? I think her name is, wow. don't even remember if they actually say her name. But either way, she's the Pink Ranger. I think. That one. And, he's also a Ranger as well. I believe he's supposed to be the Blue Ranger, but could be wrong. I had to like reread this. This is a very interesting book here. That's their ship. Yeah, it's actually funny because they actually fly ships. It's not a Megazord per se. I mean, it is, but okay. Let me back up. You know how the Power Rangers or Gorenger, they have like 5 different Megazords and 5 different Zords, and then they morph together to make one Megazord. This is nothing like that. They all pilot this one big thing, and I mean, look at how big it is compared to them. That's nuts. See if I can find a picture here. Where is it? Well, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. But, alright. So going through the story. See, they morph and they take off their helmets. This is Gorenger, number 3. Mito Ranger. Momo Ranger. One, which will be her. And Aka Ranger, which is the red one. So, basically there's a secret society that they have to stop, and this guy's actually part of it. And I believe he was friends with the Red Ranger at one point. But they don't know that. So what he does is when they land into the, place where it's supposed to be, their mentor, which is this guy, actually figures out that he is leading the Rangers into a trap. So what he does is basically just, yeah. He blackmails the Rangers, actually. So he works for the Black Cross Army in undercover as the bad guy, playing as a good guy, leading the Rangers into a trap. Notice that they all have capes. That's something that like, it's kind of funny to think about. Like, they all have capes. It's weird. Yeah. They fight horsemen. They fight a giant tank. This is very different. This is very, very, very different than what Power Rangers is supposed to be. Yeah, this is unique. Skip a bunch of pages. Skip a bunch of pages. Skip a bunch of pages. Oh yeah. See, because number 2, the Blue Ranger. I always have to reference the cover. The Blue Ranger and this guy were friends, but this guy betrays he betrays his friends, and he's like, I don't care about friends. I just want money, and he actually threatens to kill him. Yeah, if he moves any closer, he'll shoot. And he's like, then do it. That's crazy. He's got guts. He's definitely got guts. So he actually shoots, of course, and bullets bounce back off. It's like, can't hurt me. Oh yeah, that's one other thing. The Rangers in this, the Rangers here are bulletproof. You know, nothing can basically shoot through them, so they're pretty OP, overpowered. And yeah, remember when I said this was dark? Look at this. So he's playing on the Blue Ranger's sentiments, and he just points out a gun, right? That tiny little thing. He fires first. Nothing happens because, you know, bulletproof, but he shoots and yeah. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Yeah. Wow. See, so this is pretty funny. And also, here's the thing about the suits giving him power. Right here, you have the see, they explain, without the mask, no matter how hard I try to lift this barbell, I can't move it for nothing. Hey, because he eats more than he does. But when he puts the mask on, he even juggles 2 or 3. It's crazy. I can juggle these babies. This ain't no joke. So, yeah, more ideas that the suits give them power, not just like, you know, here's a suit, I'm a superhero. The suits actually have a purpose, so very cool. Very cool that they actually touch on that. I don't really remember if if they actually explain that in Mighty Morphin. I haven't really seen Mighty Morphin in a while, but yeah, the suits give them powers. So, and here we have a taste of our giant monster. It's a giant metal monster. I love the references to other franchises. Gorenger makes references to other franchises, like right here. See, so there's the giant robot, and look what it says here. It says ay 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 ay, like Alpha. It's a dinosaur. It's Nessie, like the Loch Ness Monster. Godzilla, call the Self-Defense Force, which I assume it's supposed to be SPD, or the idea behind it, I'm not sure. Or even Masked Rider. I'd rather have Ultraman. I love these references. They're so really funny. Yeah, so references to other Henshin shows. See? Very, very nice artwork. And there's that giant robot. So. Also love the jokes. The funny thing, it's like, see how it's moving, and like the helmets have like the helmets, this is so Japanese anime, the helmets indicate what they're thinking or what they're doing. For example, look at that team, see how it's moving, and he's got like these big goggly eyes, like you see. He's confused, and there's like a question mark on right here. It's moving in a straight line, and you could see like his helmet is a straight line. You know, it's like this instead of like that. It's going straight forward, and there's an arrow pointing straight up. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first when I read this. That is very funny what they did there. I like what they did there. But yeah, this is you know, it explodes everything. Like this is brutal right here. This is, yeah, that explosion probably destroyed a bunch of people's lives and homes. So they kind of take they don't really cut corners with this. The Power Rangers is like for kids, but you know, Super Sentai doesn't really, they don't really mess around. They will destroy like homes, and it's pretty dark at times. Yeah, like a guy gets shot. Pretty crazy stuff. They get attacked by some weird guy with one eye who throws these weird spiky discs that look like dog collars. It's funny. But these spiky discs actually combine to actually form the neck of the monster. So it's not, so it's, so what I'm getting from this, because this is the first time I've actually read this, well, second time. The Gorenger is like, the monsters aren't like, you know, living creatures. They're not like under a spell. This is just a giant robot. That's what it is. It's a giant robot. They just release bombs and destroy this, and like try to destroy it. So yeah, pretty extreme. It actually throws missiles from its mouth, so. So this is, okay. So the idea is, oh, they explain a bunch of translation notes right here. So let me explain what most of this stuff actually shows. Merry friends. Yukaina na Nakama meaning roughly merry friends, is a movie about a man who, having recently been released from prison, realizes that life in the outside world is hard work. He decides to go back to prison, where he never has to worry about where his next meal is coming from, and hijinks ensue. Page 47, panel 1, where he says, "Hey, Ganhan, have you heard this one?" Remember that right there? Ganhan is what Kenji calls Daita Oiwa. The Iwa in Oiwa means rock, which can be pronounced in Japanese as Iwa or Gan. Kenji used Han instead of San because that's more common in the Kansai region where he is from. So they basically speak where different regions in Japan. So. Where Ranger, here's something really interesting where the Ranger is. Page 65. And with Ao Ranger Shinmei Akira, you have the 5 Gorengers, Eagle's Special Secret Task Force. The Gorenger, or 5 Rangers, are named after the colors they wear. Aka is red, Ao is blue, and Ki is yellow. Mido comes from Midori, meaning green, and Momo comes from Momoiro, which means pink. Momo can be short for Futomomo, which means thigh. In fact, the staff of the TV show used Momo instead of pink because the actress who played her, Lisa Komaki, had very aesthetically pleasing legs. Wow, that's funny. That's some interesting fact there. Wow. Oh yeah, right here. Don't talk like that. It makes us sound like a bunch of weeble wobbles. Weeble wobbles, in the original Japanese, Kiranger's comment is that they can't put out an arm and a leg. An idiom meaning they're helpless. Akaranger says that makes them sound like Daruma, a traditional doll modeled after the founder of Zen Buddhism, who is said to have meditated so long that his arms and legs atrophied and fell off. Wow. The Daruma doll is designed so that it wobble so as to weeble and wobble but never fall down, thus making it a symbol of overcoming trials and also giving it the same characteristics as the Weeble Wobble toys, which have been around since the 1971. If anybody's actually Googled those or knows about those, definitely check those out and let me know in the comments below, because I have no idea. I've never seen a Weeble Wobble toy. It's very, very strange. Clairvoyant ants. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this is a ton of stuff here. Yeah, I just thought I wanted to make a quick video and show you that there actually is a Gorenger comic, and this is where the Power Rangers came from. If anybody hasn't really seen Gorenger, you definitely should. And if anybody hasn't really read this, definitely do it. I didn't even know this existed. And I've been a Power Rangers fan for a long time. I hadn't, recently became a Super Sentai fan. I didn't even know this existed, or there was even, you know, manga based on the Power Rangers, or rather, I should say, Power Rangers based on a manga, because usually in Japan, mangas come first and then the actual show. So, but yeah, if you guys definitely like what you saw, I don't know, maybe I should do more videos like this and talk about like mangas and things like that. So, more obscure things, and yeah, definitely check this out when you can. This is really good. Again, this is actually done by the same guy who made Cyborg 009, so yeah, that was a review / explanation on a big, thick manga explaining where the Power Rangers came from, or why the Power Rangers are what they are. Because most people that are fans of Power Rangers that I know of probably never even seen Gorenger. So there you go. There's another weird thing to look after. So yeah, that was a brief overview of the manga, Gorenger manga. And this is King Vita saying, laters.